over here, and they are both the engineers. They look after our parachutes. They make sure that they're going to open okay. They have to test the parachutes, watch the team as they pack the parachutes to make sure that everything is going to work. So, ladies and gentlemen, who do we buy all the beer for? It's got to be for them, hasn't it? Yeah, no, two very, very experienced engineers on the team and travel us wherever we go. So we've got 9 members of the Royal Air Force Falcons, and they joined the Royal Air Force Falcons into the physical education branch. So ladies, they're all physical education teachers, okay? Before they even joined the Royal Air Force, some of them were teachers. Okay, and they spent 3 years after qualifying, travelling throughout the RAF, keeping the Royal Air Force nice and fit. It's after this time when they have to specialise. And there's 3 areas that they can specialise in. One area is remedial, looking after the sick and injured at our hospital at the Headley Court in Surrey, as physiotherapists and so on. Or they can go outward bound. And you'd think that's the most favourite thing of all, to be an outward bound instructor. Snowboarding, skiing, mountaineering, and all of those wonderful things. No, but you know, most of them want to be parachute jump instructors and throw themselves out of perfectly serviceable aeroplanes. So now if they choose this, they come to us at RAF Bryce Norton in Oxfordshire. And it's the home of the parachute, of the Airborne Delivery Wing. And they spend about 2 years on the floor, as we call it, in the hangar, and they teach all airborne forces. So all the paras and everybody that have to jump out of aeroplanes for their job will come to us at Bryce Norton, and they'll be taught to jump out of aeroplanes by the instructors that you see jumping here today and their colleagues back at Bryce Norton. Now, after about 2 years, we look at them very closely indeed. And there's some of them that really want to become RAF Falcons. Now, the purpose of it all is to train young parachute jump instructors, the ones that we believe that show the greatest flair, those that we believe that can go on to become advanced parachute instructors, to teach free fall, slightly different than just ordinary round parachuting. Teaching, shall we say, parachuting from very high altitude, and very high altitude with low openings. And this is taught to very specialist branches of the Airborne Delivery Wing and throughout the military. I'll leave you to imagine who they are. So we will pick about 3 or 4 of these and we'll take them off to California. And yes, it's not on the beaches in California. We take them deep into the desert. And there they will do 8 jumps a day for 30 days. And after this time, they'll come back to England. They'll spend a couple of months back in England. And then we'll take them back again to the desert. They'll do another 8 jumps a day for 30 days. Bring them back to England. And by this time, they must have completed 140 parachute descents to have done the display parachuting course. We get them back to England, we line them up, and we pick 3 of them to replace 3 that are coming off the team. They spend 3 years with the team. Okay, before then, they should be qualified enough to go on to be the advanced instructors. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the purpose of it all. We're not just a parachute display team. We just don't go round with nice red, white and blue canopies, you know, and just, you know, there is a purpose to it all. So now let's go back again. What's happening aboard the aeroplane at this time? Now, ladies and gentlemen, what would you be doing if you're aboard that aircraft and you were climbing away to 3,000 feet, and you knew that the door will be opening and you'll be climbing out any moment, what would your body tell you? I'm looking at that gentleman over there and I can't say what's on his mind, I tell you. Yes, that is exactly what's happened. No. What they're doing is checking out their parachute equipment. They're checking it to make sure that everything is going to work, that it's all going to work in order. So they check it, and they check it, and they check it again. Now, once they actually get out of that aeroplane, the team coach will be talking to them and getting them into that stack of the Royal Air Force Falcons that we are so famous for throughout the world. And they do this by use of a little radio. The team have radios that they listen into, and the team coach will tell them left, right, and so on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft is just passed over in the overhead, and they've looked down and would have got its bearings. And this is what we call a dummy run. It'll now be going round for a live drop. And for all those aircraft spotters out there, this is a Dornier 228, and it's from Summit Air, which has joined us from the season from Canada. Now, have you all got cameras? Of course, you've all got cameras, haven't you? Right, we're looking for the best pictures that you can take of the team. So get your cameras ready, then you can send it to us either on Facebook or Twitter or whatever means. It's raffalcons.com, okay? And send it to us. So let's see some wonderful pictures, and we will pick one of these pictures, and you'll possibly be on the front page of our brochure for next year. So there's a challenge for you. And also, let's see as how many people can give us a tweet, okay? Let's see how many we can count at the end of this display. So just say hello to us and what you think of the display. So I'm just going to go and walk across to the officer commanding and to see exactly what the situation is and find out exactly what heights they're going to be leaving the aircraft from. Oh, he's busy on the radio at the moment, talking and just getting exactly what the situation is. I'll come back to him in a little while. So, as I said, we've been going since 1965. So we're in about 53 years. 53 years we've been going. And the only reason why we've been going, exactly what I explained to you, is because we're not just a parachute display team. We are training our advanced instructors. So every single parachute display that we do is a military exercise. Exactly what it is here today in front of you. The crosses that are laid out, they're just simply aiming points. You don't have to land, the team don't have to land all on those crosses. Because guess what would happen if they all tried to hit the cross? Yes, exactly, that's what would happen, ma'am. I can see it on your lips. There'd be one great big pile up. So it's just to aim at, and they would land either side of those crosses. Missing the water jump, of course. Now, you'll see smoke that will be coming from them as they leave the aircraft. Now, back in 1961 to 65, prior to becoming the Royal Air Force Falcons, we never had anything like smoke generators and these smoke bombs that we could attach to our ankles. So guess what we used, strapped to our ankles, so that it'll all come out and be able to see them whilst that they were in free fall. Anybody guess? Flour. We have bags of flour strapped to their ankles and put a little hole in it, and as they came screaming down 120 miles an hour, it sucked the flour out and you'd get the white, what looked like smoke. So that's what they use. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it was self-raising flour. Oh, Yeah, I've got more if you like. Oh, all right. It can only get better. So we're now looking for the aircraft now. It's going round. Let's go over to David and let's see exactly. Right, we've been put on a hold, would you believe, from air traffic control, only for 3 minutes, okay, from Norwich Airport, because there's an inbound aircraft. Okay, so, do you know what that means? You've got to listen to me for another 3 minutes, haven't you? all right, okay. Right, I've got to dig a story up from somewhere. Oh dear, did I ever tell you the time when, oh no, I better not tell you that one. But, well, hey, I'm walking around here, okay, and I'm a civilian volunteer, and I've been with the team for 23 years. Yes, thank you very much. Here, look at it. Yeah, for 23 years. I'm paid, and I've been travelling with them for 23 years. Do you know, but I have done some parachute jumps. I've done 2,604 parachute descents, okay? And I've only had a couple go wrong on me. Did I ever tell you the time when they both went wrong? Do you want to hear it? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, well, we've got plenty of time. I tell you, there I was, in free fall. I jumped out with about 6 of my mates, and we were screaming down. We got down to 2,500 feet. I went to pull my parachute, and I had what they call a bag lock. So it locked the parachute inside the container. Now the drill was to tap it once, if not, pull the reserve. Well, hey, you can imagine what I felt at the time. And I went to the back, I banged it hard, then I banged it again, and I banged it again. And this time I'd sort of gone head down into a spin at about 180 miles an hour. Well, I thought, I've got to pull my parachute. It wasn't as calm as that, by the way. And so, anyway, I pulled my reserve parachute. But because I was in a spin and I was head down 180 miles an hour, my reserve parachute lines, 4 or 5 of them, blew up, which meant that they just broke, which rendered the parachute that I had above my head useless. I was then spinning around, and I don't know, about, you name it, I was spinning, and it rendered me unconscious. I hit the ground maybe, they estimate, about 70 miles an hour, and I spent quite a long time in hospital. But anyway, that was my 118th jump, and I then went on, after just over a year, I got back aboard the aircraft, went up with the same 6 fellas that I jumped with, and I made 1 second out of the door. I knew it was right to do it, and I went on. That was my 118th jump, and I went on to do 2,600 parachute descents. But hey, just to say you can survive, okay. But I don't really tell that story, but I had 3 minutes to waste, haven't I? But anyway, it's you say, ladies, I say they're all physical training instructors, so when they land, you know what I mean, ladies? They're not all married. But anyway, we got 2 minutes. Hey, that was very technical, that sign, wasn't it? 2 minutes to a live drop. Now, what else can I tell you about? Yes, these parachute instructors, okay, doing advanced parachuting. When they, what you see them do today, okay, they're going to go on to teach people to jump from 25,000 feet at night with full kit. They're going to teach hey-ho and hey-low, which is high altitude, high opening, high altitude, low opening. High altitude, high opening, they would leave the aircraft at 25,000 feet. Their parachutes would be immediately pulled for them because they've just got too much kit on them. Strapped to their waist would be a GPS system, much like you've got in your car. And they would then use this to track across the sky at night. Now they'll be dropped up to 50 kilometres away from the target. Imagine that, 50 kilometres away at night. They'll track in using this GPS system and land in their designated drop zone. Now, they are to be teaching these specialist people to be able to do that task. But first of all, they've got to get together all of these jumps in varied locations, different sizes and different crowds, and that before they can actually qualify to teach these people. And the fastest way to do it is by putting them onto the Royal Air Force Falcons. The Royal Air Force Falcons are the only parachute display team in the world to be able to form the loose stack, exactly what you're about to see, ladies and gentlemen. No other parachute display team can do it. They fly the red, white and blue, and we fly it throughout the United Kingdom and throughout the world, bringing Great Britain to the rest of the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's look up. Now we've got about 3 of them out on the step, and they're walking along the outside of the aircraft as we speak. Any moment now, and they're going. And they're out of the aircraft, into free fall at 120 miles an hour. They're looking around, they're pulling their parachutes.
Stop an aircraft heading, turning right, 180, turning right, now.
And they're checking to make sure that everything's okay, and then they can fly those parachutes, and they're getting into their slots, all of their designated slots, using their left and right toggles to actually get into that. So look at the top man spinning round there to get into that top. Look how long that took them to get into that stack. Give them a round of applause. They can hear you from here. Absolutely wonderful. This is why they're regarded as the premier parachute team in the whole world, ladies and gentlemen. And we're British.
On my downwind leg, turning
This is the team coach talking to his team. Now, look at that, he's out of breath.
90, keep following me around. Coming out my turn. Now. Turning left. On my base leg. Turning left. Now.
So there's Flight Sergeant Kenny Marshman, and he's from South Wales, talking to his team.
Now. Coming back across the wind line. Now. Shoot at my target.
And the first man down is Flight Sergeant Kenny Marshman from South Wales, followed by Corporal Alex Williams from Stoke-on-Trent in Staffordshire. Sergeant Mark O'Brien from Bury in Greater Manchester. Sergeant Paul Smith from Bath. Sergeant Alistair Donald from Sutton Coldfield in the West Midlands. Falcon 6, Sergeant John Vish from Cirencester, Gloucestershire. Falcon 9, Corporal Dominic Hodge from Morriston in Swansea. Falcon 7, Corporal Daniel Cartwright from Swindon. And Falcon 8, Corporal Lee Coonan from Bingley in West Yorkshire. Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that absolutely spectacular? Come on, let's give them a round of applause. They can fully hear you now. From 3,000 feet up, okay, and they land here absolutely bang on target in front of you. So what they're waiting for now, just waiting the 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the Deputy Officer Commanding, okay, will be getting into position, and then he'll be putting his hand in the air and calling his team in for the lineup. So they're checking out their parachute equipment, they're making sure it's not going to blow away. Traditionally it's 1 minute and 30 seconds. When we had the Hercules, that used to take that time for it to be able to get in position for a low flyby. But we still keep that. So any moment now, David Sellers will stand, get himself into position, looking for his team, put his hand in the air, and call the team in for the lineup. So, ladies and gentlemen, and the Falcons running for the lineup. Taking the salute today is the Very Reverend Jane Hedges, the show president, Sir Nicholas Bacon, the show chairman, and Group Captain Richie Davis, the station commander from RAF Marham. Flight Lieutenant David Sellers saluting and ask if they would like to come and see the team. Group Captain Richard Davis will actually introduce the team as he goes along with the Deputy Officer Commanding. But wasn't that spectacular? Do you want us to come back again next year? Should we tell the organisers? How can we explain to the organisers that you'd like us back? Okay, I'm going to call 3 and I want to hear a really, really big applause, okay? So 1, 2, 3. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, in all the shows that we go to, I certainly have been coming here for 22 years, but this truly is our favourite location because you are such wonderful people, and we thank you for allowing us to display in front of you. Just going along the line now, being introduced. So each person here, each of the team have got around about 10 years in the Royal Air Force. Ladies, the youngest member is about 26 years old, but I'm not telling you that. Okay. So have you been taking photographs? Have you been doing the tweets? Come on, send us a load of tweets. We want to add up how many tweets we've received from people here at the Royal Norfolk Show. And please, ladies and gentlemen, do not go away. Stay where you are, because we've got the sunset parade, and truly that is worth staying for. So stay exactly where you are. And thank you all for coming out to the Royal Norfolk Show this year. And of course we must remember the organisers of the show. Okay, done work so hard in very, very difficult conditions for the last couple of days. So, ladies and gentlemen, as our VIPs retire back to the stand, right, David Sellers now will ask the Station Commander, RAF Marham, to march off. So, ladies and gentlemen, just one more time, I present to you the Royal Air Force Falcons of the year 2017. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure that was. We've seen the very best of the British military with the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery. Now we've seen the very best of the Royal Air Force with their Falcons Parachute display team. Now we've got coming for you the best of the military bands. We've got the band of the Parachute Regiment as a start to our sunset ceremony. And as that takes part, we'll be bringing together the Queen's Dragoon Guards, the United States Air Force, RAF Lakenheath, the Royal Air Force at Marham, and various others of the military and civilian services, and it will be a chance for us to say thank you for all their hard work on our behalf.